Welcome to my house. Baby, take control now. We can't even
I'm sorry to interrupt, guys, but you know, I didn't want to rain on your parade.
Roman Reigns, the guy with the biggest pecs. Roman Reigns, the guy who has lots of sex. Roman Reigns, the guy with the wettest hair. Roman Reigns, the guy who just doesn't care. Roman.
What is up, everyone? My name is Jack Southall, and welcome to my biggest review of the year, the granddaddy of them all, the grandest stage of fucking sports and entertainment. I got them mixed up, but who even cares, dude? Of course, I'm talking about none other than WWE's grand event, WrestleMania 32, and it was just the greatest thing I have ever seen in my fucking life. You know, we all cocked that fist, we all said suffer and succotash, son. Oh, dude, this is too much. This is too much. Okay, enough of this WrestleMania shit. Click back to Triple H. Alright, of course I'm talking about WrestleMania 32, the Super Bowl of sports entertainment, and man, as much as I really want to talk about the main event, by the way, I'll get my thoughts on that later on. Of course, you know how my reviews start. We have to go from the very beginning, because that's how we do it on my channel. So, anyway, let's not fuck around. Let's get straight into the show. So, we'll quickly go over the pre-show matches. We had Kalisto versus Ryback for the United States Championship. It was an alright match, you know, nothing too, you know, out of control or anything like that. But, you know, Kalisto looked pretty cool. He came out like a dragon, and Ryback was just meh, as he usually is. Although Kalisto ended up getting the win. Good stuff. Love Kalisto. Glad he had his Mania moment. Then right after that, we had the 5-on-5 Divas tag team match. We had the Total Divas team taking on Team Bad and Blonde. First of all, just want to say Lana's ass, 10 out of 10 right there. Match itself was acceptable. Even Marie was booed pretty badly. Surprise, surprise. Total Divas get the win. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, lots of surprises in that match. Then we get the Usos versus the Dudley Boyz right after that, and pretty decent tag team match. The Usos beat the Dudley Boyz. Good stuff. They ended up putting the Dudleys through tables right after the match, which is pretty cool to see. So yeah, I've pretty much got all of my fucking pre-show matches right. So, and then right after that, Rida, who was on the kickoff panel, was in the ring, and she was talking about, you know, about the women's division and all that, and then she revealed the new women's championship. About damn time, WWE. I was so sick and tired of looking at that gross looking butterfly belt, which looked like it just came out of a goddamn Barbie coloring in book, for Christ's sakes. But this is pretty much just the normal world title, just like repainted white and red, you know, which is fine. You know, I did see some people complain about it, but do you really think this is as bad as a butterfly belt? Let's just be real here. But, you know, WWE's getting rid of the term diva. Thank God. You should have done that years and years and years ago. But, hey, you're doing it now, so that's fine. So, that was all the pre-show. And let's get to the actual show. And that was a 7-man Intercontinental Championship ladder match. We saw Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Stardust, Sin Cara, and Zack Ryder. And man, this was so damn cool. There was a lot of spots where people were going onto the ladder. Of course, Sin Cara pretty much committed suicide and did the big let's break the ladder spot. And who went through? I think it was someone. It'll show up on the screen somehow. And then Stardust. There was one thing I say about Stardust. One thing I love about WrestleMania is that these guys go balls to the walls with their attire. Pretty much everyone had a new attire tonight, with the exception of Lesnar. We'll get that later on. And one thing I want to point out about this is that when Stardust was going under the ring, remember last year where you had that glittery little ladder? Well, this year he has polka dot ladders. A ladder in for Dusty Rhodes, which I thought was very classy of him. However, the winner is you're not going to believe me who won. So we saw Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They were battling on the top, and I'm like, oh, maybe one of them wins. They both fall off, and the Miz is about to climb, and I'm like, don't tell me the Miz is going to win. But then Zack Ryder climbs off, he knocks him off the ladder, and Zack Ryder is your new Intercontinental Champion. I am dead fucking serious. Zack bloody Ryder, of all people, won this match. You know what, by the way, there were quite a lot of winners that I did not expect to actually win. This was one of many tonight, and I'm so happy, you know, Zack Ryder finally got his moment here at WrestleMania. If anyone deserves it more, it is him. You know, the fact that he's been buried and treated like shit for so long, you know, it's just so upsetting to me. I see so much great stuff in him. You know, I loved him in 2011 when he was the US champion, and I love that he's the IC champ now. So congrats, Zack Ryder. You're partying and fucking Emma really hard. Woo woo woo, you know it, buddy. And right after that, we had Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles. And yeah, I really enjoyed this match. This was some great, solid wrestling right here. So this was the 4th match in the series. Lots of cool stuff, lots of reversals, you know, out of each other's finishes. How this match ended, though, was Styles was going up. Before I get to the ending, actually, talk about some of the stuff that happened. They went for like a superplex kind of thing off the top, but they ended up like both face planting each other, which was pretty weird. I believe Chris Jericho actually kicked out of the Styles Clash, which was pretty insane. And another thing was during the ending, AJ Styles gets up to do probably another 450 or something on the top rope. He gets for it, and then Jericho hits him with a bloody codebreaker from out of nowhere and win the match. So I'm not completely upset that Jericho won. I mean, you know, this was pretty much his, you know, because AJ Styles has won like every single match, you know, since the last 3 times I've encountered. So, bit of redemption for Jericho. I expect him to go like one more match at Payback, and that's going to be the final match between those two, and AJ's going to get like his comeuppance. And yeah, so great match between those two guys. I'm very proud of you both. Congrats, Jericho, baby. Right after that, we had the League of Nations versus the New Day, and the New Day came out of a box of fucking Bootios cereal. They like a bunch of cereal fell on the ground. They come out looking like fucking characters from Dragon Ball Z. It was absolutely ridiculous. You know, it was really awesome to see. It was pretty badass, and the League of Nations came out, you know, with all the charisma in the world. Ugh. And this was, I thought it was going to be a 4-on-3 handicap match, but it ended up being just a normal 6-man tag. King Barrett got the cold shoulder again. Seriously, like, what's wrong with King Barrett? Like, no wonder he wants to leave that fucking company. Anyway, this was a pretty, you know, standard 6-man tag, you know. Crowd was definitely behind New Day in this one, but you know, the League of Nations ended up actually winning this one. You know, it's not like they're over or anything, because that'd be fucking stupid. You know, the League of Nations end up winning, which I don't agree with. You know, they're not bad by any means, but they're just so boring. They've got no character development or no like you know, chemistry between each other. So seeing them win was a bit of a shame, but luckily they made up for it, because right afterwards, you know, King Barrett gets on the mic and says, "We are the most dominant team in the WWE," and blah 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 and all that bullshit. When suddenly HB Shizzle comes out. Yes, Shawn Michaels arrives in his wrestling gear. He's wearing his DX camo pants that he wore like back in 2009, and so he's out there, he's getting ready, but no, he's not going out there all alone. He needs some backup. So who does he call? Mick friggin' Foley, and of course they're missing one more guy. So who is it? Stone Cold Steve Austin. What the hell? So they're all coming out there, and they beat up the League of Nations, you know, which they deserve. They all do their big finishing moves on them, and then New Day gets back in the ring, and they're like, "Hey, you want to celebrate?" And it's like, "Yeah," and they teach them how to dance and all that, and then Austin hit the stunner and Xavier Woods, which we all kind of expected, and they they all like put their beers in the air and they toasted and all that. It was a good time. Awesome seeing those three guys out there. You know, I love when they get all the wrestlers together to do a big spot. It's really cool. Then we get, oh man, Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose in a no-holds-barred street fight. My God, this match was a disappointment. I'm so ashamed that I had to say that, because I was going in thinking this match is going to be brutal and violent and, you know, we might see some blood or anything. Nope. You know, we just got a standard kind of match, really. The only real extremes they went was they hit each other with some chairs and some canes. They teased using Barbie, but Brock Lesnar got out of the way and hit the F5 for the win. You know, just such a shame. They could have done so much with that. You know, the only real crazy spot was like the F5 onto the chairs and the dirty deeds on the chair and all that, and he didn't even bring out his wagon. Like, what the hell? I guess Finn Balor did steal it at the NXT TakeOver, but yeah, you know, expected a lot better. Brock Lesnar won. Ambrose should have won. You know, what you gonna do about it? Then right after that we get a WWE Women's, not Divas, Women's Championship match. Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. And you know what? I gotta tip my hat to this match. This was really good. You know, I wasn't happy with the winner, but still, lots of great stuff in this. There were submissions galore. Everyone got their submission holds in. You know, Becky was awesome, and you know, Sasha came out, you know, with a tribute to Eddie and with Snoop Dogg rapping, and I thought for sure that she was gonna win, but turns out we didn't get that, because Charlotte hit her figure eight in the ring and Sasha tried to break it up, but slick Ric Flair broke it, kept Sasha out of the ring, and Charlotte retained. So you know, a bit of a disappointment, you know, like, just really, Charlotte, come on. But, you know, I have a feeling Sasha is going to get that women's title. You know, she is going to definitely get it sometime, at least this year or at next year's WrestleMania for sure. I have a feeling tomorrow night on Raw, when they do the night after Mania, they're going to have a women's match between Charlotte and Sasha Banks, and then Sasha's going to make Charlotte tap out so she gets that monster pop on Raw, because, you know, that crowd is going to be on fire tomorrow night. So yeah, you know, congratulations, Charlotte. You know, I shouldn't be ashamed. That was a fantastic women's match. You know, you guys need to check that out for sure. Lots of crazy stuff happened in that. So, you know what, Charlotte, I'm gonna have to tip my hat to you. Did a fantastic job. Then we get to The Undertaker versus Shane McMahon inside Hell in a Cell. And if Shane McMahon wins, he gains control of Raw, and The Undertaker will never compete at WrestleMania again. So, I gotta say, I really, really, really loved this match. This was probably my match in the night, in my opinion. The Women's Championship match was right up there, but damn, this one takes the cake for me, because, you know, they were exchanging punches with each other at the beginning, and, you know, all that crap, and like, right afterwards, they ended up, you know, Shane got the ply cutters and ended up cutting a bit of the cell open, and they crashed through the cell wall bit there. They fought a bit on the outside, and Shane ended up hitting Undertaker with the monitor. No, Undertaker hit Shane a bit with the monitors, and then Shane got him back onto the table somehow, because they were standing on this little bit of, like, this little, like, standy thing next to the announce tables, and he ended up putting Undertaker through, and he ended up putting Undertaker onto the announce table, and then he looks up, and I'm just thinking, don't tell me he's gonna do it, and he climbs up the Hell in a Cell, he looks down, he prays to Jeebus, he does the biggest leap of faith I think I've ever seen. And then Undertaker, you know, to make matters worse, he moves out of the way and he just crashes through the announce table. I understand there was a big airbag underneath the announce table, all that, but let's just be real here. If there was no, like, airbag underneath that, he would have been dead. He would have died straight away, you know, but Undertaker hit the tombstone in the ring and won the match. Stellar performance to both those guys. Undertaker kicked ass. Shane McMahon with the spot of the night. I mean, Jesus Christ. Is there anything this guy won't do to put his body on the line for us? So, all the EMTs and all that, they cut him out of the ring, and, good job, you two. Great match. Then we had the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We ended up going into overtime of this pay-per-view. It's 5 hours long. And we had the 20-man Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. We had Fandango, we had Kane, Mark Henry, Big Show, Damien Sandow, The Ascension, Jack Swagger, R-Truth, Goldust, the Social Outcast, Tyler Breeze, Darren Young, and some surprise entrants that were Tatanka, who showed up, which was pretty badass, and then we had Diamond Dallas Page also there, which was awesome. Baron Corbin from NXT showed up, which I was surprised to see, and we also saw Shaquille O'Neal. What the fuck? What is this show, man? I honestly swear to God, this might be the weirdest pay-per-view I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to say that. I should have said that at the beginning of the episode, but this is by far, I honestly think this is the weirdest pay-per-view I've ever seen in my life. So, Shaquille O'Neal, he's squaring up with the Big Show. I think he's even taller than him, and they all battle out. They try to fight each other, but all of the guys swarm around him, and they end up eliminating him. Diamond Dallas Page hit his Diamond Cutter, which was pretty awesome. We saw Tatanka in there, he's badass. And we ended up, the last couple of dudes were Darren Young. For some reason he gets eliminated by Kane. It looks like, Kane's gonna win, but no, Baron Corbin from behind eliminates Kane and wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Wow, I did not see that coming. I mean, Baron Corbin has been on a roll this week, he lost to Austin Aries, I believe. And then, he beats, Kane and, 18 other guys to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So, holy shit, good job, Baron Corbin. You're having a damn good week, my friend. I want to see how good he goes on the main roster. I want him to succeed. Anyone from NXT I want to see succeed. And I think Baron Corbin will be a perfect fit for the main roster. So, yeah, congratulations, Baron. Let's see what you do in the future. And then we get The Rock coming out to cut his little promo, which was badass. He comes out with a motherfucking flamethrower, and the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders were dancing to Thunderstruck, which was pretty badass. And then Rock goes out his motherfucking flamethrower, and there's a thing that says Rock on it, and he sets it on fire, and so it looks like the flames are forming into the word Rock, which is pretty awesome. And he does his usual, finally, The Rock has come back to WrestleMania and all that. And then the Wyatt family shows up. I was wondering, where are those guys? Seriously. And so there they are. They have a bit of an exchange with The Rock. He calls them, Duck Dynasty rejects, and that one of them, mother and father are obviously related, and and that Bray Wyatt has had too many hot pockets. Pretty funny shit from The Rock. And Rock's like, you know what, guys? Let's not have a confrontation. Let's have a match right now. And then The Rock, he's wearing his long pants and his singlet and all that. He takes it all off, and he's wearing his wrestling attire underneath, puts on his elbow pads. I'm like, oh shit. And so Eric Rowan comes in, and we have a match between The Rock and Eric Rowan. No, listen, let me say that again. Eric Rowan had a match with The Rock at WrestleMania. Eric fucking Big Ginger Beard Rowan had a WrestleMania match against The Rock. Although The Rock beat him in 6 seconds. The Rock won, and the Wyatt family surrounds him. Looks like they're going to beat him down until John Cena shows up. He is back, baby. He comes in and helps out The Rock, which is just crazy when 4 years ago they were fighting in the main event. And so they help out The Rock, and they do all their finishes on them and all that, and they scurry off. Rock and Cena are in the ring. So yeah, I was kind of happy Cena is back. I've never had that much of a problem with Cena anyway, so seeing him back is pretty good. So, yeah, welcome back, Cena. Let's see what you can do, man. And then we get... Oh, no. Then we get to whatever the fuck they call a main event. Triple H versus
Big Top Dog
Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Oh my god, it is official, guys. Roman Reigns is the most protected wrestler in the history of this company. I swear to God. Because Triple H, they did this kind of thing where they show a bunch of corporate guys with like their mouths covered up, and then we see Stephanie McMahon, like, who's looking fucking fine tonight. You know, she's up there and she cuts like the most desperate promo I've ever seen. It was still good, don't get me wrong, but you know, she was pretty much saying every horrible thing you could possibly imagine. You are all slaves to us, bow down to the king, and you can never stand up for yourselves because your lives are all miserable, and all that bullshit, you know, she kept saying. And there was a bunch of, you know, corporate guys with like skull masks holding the world title. And here is the game, Triple H. And he's there, and it was really awesome, you know. Yeah, that was probably an amazing Triple H entrance. He always has the most badass entrances. And so he's there, you know, with that super heel heat. By heel heat, I mean the fans were cheering him, even though Stephanie McMahon pretty much, you know, called them a piece of shit and that they own them and all that. So, yeah, so Triple H, the gamer, comes out the ring. And then Roman Reigns, oh my god. Apparently, from what I've heard, he got booed, man. Hardcore by the fans. It's so much that the second he came out, the WWE tweaked the audio so that it doesn't look like the fans were booing Roman that much. I actually want to see someone post an actual video up online of like if they recorded anything during the show, what the reaction actually was, because I guarantee you those fans must have been booing their asses off. As for the actual main event, it was pretty boring, you know. For a main event, you know, it's Triple H has had a bad reputation with going out last, you know. Like WrestleMania X8 after he had to go out after rocking Hogan and he had to wrestle Jericho. WrestleMania 25, you know, when he wrestled Randy Orton, he had to go out after Undertaker and HBK, for Christ's sakes. Now here he is again, and he has to go out after we just saw Shane McMahon jump off a Hell in a Cell, for Christ's sakes, and the best women's match we'd seen in a long time. So poor Trips had to face the big top dog. And, yeah, it was boring. Lots of submission rest holds. It was just, ugh. But it did get interesting in the end because Roman Reigns did a huge spear through the barricade. He ended up spearing Stephanie McMahon, for Christ's sakes. Triple H was messing around with Sledgehammer that he might have hit him. And so the ref is focused on Stephanie because she's hurt and all that. And, you know, it looks like, oh, maybe Triple H is going to hit him behind his back. But no, Roman hits the spear. 1, 2, 3. And the
Big Top Dog
wins the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And maybe we're like, okay, did we get a swerve? Did we get something cool? Did Roman turn heel? Did Triple H turn face? Did we get anything cool? What do we get? Nothing! Absolutely nothing. Because fuck you, WWE Universe. I can't believe that the WWE actually had the audacity to actually put the belt on Roman, knowing full well those fans were gonna boo their fucking asses off, and they did it anyway. Are you kidding me? Oh, this company, man. This company. They surprised us with every other match on this show, except this one. And, you know, when you're hearing the audio, like, when they were doing the pyro off and everything, they lingered really long in the AT&T Stadium and not the fans, because if it was the show roaming with the pyro, pretty much everyone would just be going, boo, you know. And that's how we end the show. Okay, match of the night, for me, is Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker. If you can take a bump like that off the fucking Hell in a Cell, you deserve my respect, man. How would I rate this show? The main event was... but mostly everything else I didn't really have a problem with. It's mostly Zack Ryder winning IC title was fucking awesome. Jericho beating Styles, didn't have a problem. League of Nations beating New Day, that was like, what the hell. The Street Fight was a big of a disappointment. The Divas match was fucking fantastic, even though Sasha should have won. Undertaker vs. Shane McMahon kicked ass. Baron Corbin winning was pretty cool. The Rock, Cena, Wyatt stuff was alright. And of course, yeah, so, how should I give this? I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10, you know? It did have a lot of good stuff in it, but, you know, that main event was just, ugh. But yeah, this is going to be my review of WrestleMania 32. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a big fat like if you did. Comment down below what you thought of this pay-per-view. Did you think it was a great WrestleMania? Do you think it was the worst piece of shit ever put on God's green earth? Tell me, I'd like to hear your opinion. Should be very interesting. And if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. You'll be glad you did. My Twitter and my Instagram is at JackamanLol31 if you want to check me out there. Thank you so much for watching. I've had a fun time in WrestleMania week, and I'll see you guys later. And I am out in 3, 2, 1.